Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to learn how to replace the springs or the shocks in your Samsung washer. The model we're specifically working with today is the Samsung WA50R5200 AW/US. Now this specific model, this procedure is for this specific model. So if this is for, if you have a different washer, it may be a little bit different of a different procedure, but it's still basically going to be the same thing, just different panels to remove and different ways to remove those panels. But if you have this specific washer, then this video is for you. So I'm going to provide you with everything you need, ranging from clear step-by-step instructions and the parts themselves. So you can find that in the description as well. Alright, well, let's get to the video. Alright, so I have it on a spin-only cycle, and I have it set to level 3, and what it'll do, it'll try to rinse itself out first and drain all the water, and once that's done, it'll do about 2 or 3 times. It'll get to where it starts to spin, and I'll show y'all what it looks like whenever it is not doing what it should here. Let me back it up a little bit so y'all don't get dizzy. That's kind of wild. So you'll see it start to spin up a little quicker, and what you'll notice is that it'll start to rock back and forth whenever it tries to kick it up into higher gear. See that? See that along the edge starting to see, just like that. See how, and there's nothing in here, and it's already rocking back and forth. So that's one of the symptoms that we're looking for when we need to diagnose this thing. Now there's a bunch of other things that could be the problem, but right now we're just focusing on the shock absorbers. So now that we know what that looks like, we can get into the whole system and figure out how to repair it. Now when it comes to removing the top of your washer to get access to the drums, there's going to be a total of, what is that, 6, 7, 8, there's 9 screws total, which there's another gentleman who does this for a living. I don't do this for a living, by the way, but he does this for a living, and he prefers to do 6 total, but I'm doing 9, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. So the first 4 that we need to remove, or the first 2, is there's 2 up front, 1 here, 1 there. They're going to be covered by rubber stoppers. They look like this. The next 2 are going to be in the back. There's 1, and then there's 2. And then there's another 2 that's underneath this display panel, but we'll get to those in a second. That's 6 screws. So where's the other 3? Well, the other 3, if you come behind here, there's 1 here, 1 in the center, which I've already removed these 3, and then there's 1 on the edge. This will allow you to remove the back panel, to pop it out and get access to the other screws without having to completely remove this whole display panel, which is what this gentleman does. And it's a real hassle to get this off, especially if you're not the strong type, I guess you could say. Like women, I know there's a lot of women who try to do this on their own, and it's real tough to get behind here. So, but this is a little easier, requires less strength, and this back panel is actually made to be removed. So now that we know where all those are, let's remove them. Now first and foremost, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to unplug your washer. You don't want any electricity running through this thing whatsoever, otherwise you run the risk of electric shock. It's the last thing you need. So just reach back here, wherever your outlet is. Mine just happens to be back here. Get a good old unplug. Set that to the side. And now that that's unplugged, we can start our work. Alright, so just to recap here, these smaller screws will be the 2 screws that were in the back. And then the bigger screws, right here, these thicker ones, they're the ones that are in the front. So keep track of that. Alright, so now that all those 6 screws are removed, what that one gentleman did, which I'm not doing that today, is he tried to take off this whole thing and see how you can remove the whole thing, and he move the lid and everything just to get this whole panel off. But what I did is, like I said, I undid these 6 screws on the back, so now all we have to do, reach down here, pull up on the side like that. You see how this is already coming undone, just like that? See? So just take that, and usually this is snapped in place. Mine's not really snapped in place, but that's okay. We don't need to have it completely snapped in place, right? So just take it, pull it out, just like so. Same thing over here. Now this one's good and snapped in place. I could have started on that side just so that you could see it a little easier, but that's all right. So same thing, pull up, just like that. This whole panel is going to come off, and of course you'll have this wire connected here, but that's all right. Just set that up just like so. And then as we can see, we have a screw right there, and we have a screw right there. And even though we only took off a small little bit of the panel, we still have plenty of room for our screwdriver to sit in place. So let's take that one out, and we'll take that one out right there. And the 2 screws back here, they're the same size as the ones up top. And the ones that are up on these 3, they're the same size as the ones connected here and there. So you're going to have 2 sizes, or 2 sets of screws. Now in this area, this is wherever he stopped, and this is whenever he started to remove the whole piece to get to the drum, but he mentioned how he had trouble because there wasn't a lot of slack back here. Well, if you come and look back here, you'll see why. You got 2 screws right here. They act as a ground, and then there's another one back here. It acts as another ground. When you lift up on it, it pushes on those wires, as you can see. See that? So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unscrew those. Just keep track of your wires. For me, it's got the yellow green on the left, the whole green on the right, and then on this side, another yellow green right there. You remove those, you should be good. You shouldn't have to remove this because this is connected to the whole top piece as a whole, as you can see. But I'm going to go ahead and remove those 3 right there. Just remember to unplug your electricity, like I said earlier, because these are grounds. And we'll go over it later, but before you plug it in, make sure you have those screws back in. So let me remove those. And this is what those 3 screws look like. They have little lock washers. And whenever I go to lift up the whole top piece, that way I'm not dealing with anything flopping around or nothing like that. And I'm going to be taping the lid too, but I'm just going to take this piece and I'm going to attach it back. Make sure you're not crimping any wires, of course. Like that. Should be good. Okay, just like that. And looks like I may have a wire stuck right there, but that should be okay for now. Let me check here. There we go. Alright, so that's good there. I'm going to go ahead and get 1 screw. I'm going to go ahead and get 3 screws actually. I'm going to re-screw the top one, the middle one up here, and I'm going to do these 2 just so that I can work as a whole unit and nothing's rambling around. So let me go ahead and reattach those. Alright, now whenever all that's off, there is still technically 2 more connections. There's one right here that I don't really think you can remove, and then there's another one right here. It goes into this little hole there. Those are still stuck in there, but because we freed the other 2, we basically have more, I would say, room to mess around with than what the other dude have. You may do a little more work, but I think it's a little more worth it. So now that that's all taken care of, let me pop this back on, and then we'll get to removing the whole drum, or at least the top. Alright, next I'm going to grab some masking tape. I'm just going to tape the door that way and make sure it's not going to move on me while I'm doing this. And it doesn't matter if you use electrical tape or masking tape, just something to keep the door closed. Should be good right there. Now that that's set in place, I can take it and I can wiggle it around and everything. I got a whole lot of room. So now that that's out of the way, let's look at these little struts. Alright, so the first one we're going to remove is this one right here, then we're going to move to this one right here. The back two are always going to be more difficult because there's less space. But basically I'm just going to pick this up, and tilt it over to the side a little bit. Just like so. Got all that room. And now we have access to this one right here, and if you need a little more room, just take the drum, push it over to the side, no big deal. Now the way we're going to get this out is if we look here, we can see here's this, and it's very sticky. It's got very sticky grease on it. But the way you're going to do this is you're going to take this, you're going to grab the rod that's down here. See that rod? You're going to grab it, you're going to pull up. See how it comes out of the slot? You're going to pull up, bring it out through there, and then you're going to push it down. You see that in there? Let's see if I can get a good zoom. So that right there, see how it goes down in there? That goes underneath that. So that would be like it hooked up under here. You're going to push it down and then out. So that's what we're going to do here. And that'll be the same thing for every other shock as well. So let's get to that. Alright, so now we know how to remove it. Let's put it into practice. And something else that will also help tremendously is whenever you go to take this out with your other hand, see this piece right here? I'm going to grab this because this piece don't move. This stays stationary. Bring your rag in, right, where you lift up. Take your other hand, push the drum over, and lift up on the drum. You see how the drum comes up? So lift both up at the same time, and that'll give you plenty of space. Unless, of course, the pink little spring don't want to move, which that's a very big possibility. Alright, so just like that, lower it down. Set that there. Like I said, I'm going to push that down and then out. And then there's that absorber. Very sticky, by the way. Alright, so now we're going to take our new one, same thing. We're going to push the drum over a little bit. We're going to slide it into that little slot. Come on. Slide into the slot, I said. All set, slide to that slot. There we go. So just like that, I'm going to keep a hold of that, right? Same thing. Grab with this hand and pull up as best as you can. And if anything, at this point, since you have a good grip on this, you could easily lift it up and just slide it in place like so. That's if you'd like to do it that way. That's probably how I'm going to do it with every single one of these, just so that I don't have to deal with picking nothing up. So now that that's in, let's go to that side. Alright, so same thing on this side. I'm going to get my rag, grab that rod, get my hand down here. This is a little bit tighter, so I may move it over just a tad bit more. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so grab the rod, grab the drum somewhere, and lift. And of course that pink thing's getting stuck again. Let's try it one more time. Well, that's annoying. Alright, there's that. And I'm going to show y'all down here. Let's see if I can get it in a good spot so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So you see that down there, that little hook it's kind of connected to? I'm going to take this, and I know you can't really, maybe I can zoom in on it for y'all. There it is. You can kind of see it right there. I know it's not really too visible, but take that, slide it down, and out. Alright, so same thing as the other. I'm going to scoot the drum over just a tad. Put it under that, or slide it in the slot. It does have to be pretty straight, so sit in the slot. And I'm just going to grab it, I'm going to pick it up, and drop it in like that. Alright, now for the last two, you are either going to need help or you're going to need to take off the back panel. I just grabbed some help because an extra hand always helps Here's my lovely, beautiful wife, postpartum. So now that this is a little propped up with a little help, let's get these other two off. Alright, same thing, grab the rod, grab a piece of the drum, if you can, lift up. Of course that pink thing is going to get stuck again. Come on. Well, that's annoying. There we go. It's like a bunch of glue. Alright, there's that. Slide it out and up. Oh wow, look at that. That one's actually bent. How about that? Maybe that's why I'm having issues. Check that out. Look at the bend in that. It's so sticky. Alright, take your new one, slide it down yonder, try to find that slot.
Maybe find the slot.
Maybe find the slot. There we go, find the slot. Back up. Slide it in like so. Good catch. Alright. Take it off the clip. Maybe. There we go. This thing is wrapped up around it too. What in tarnation? It's all slimy too. So the water hose is wrapped around the rod as well, and it's all lubed up as well. It's all lubed up as well, so that's another reason why this ain't coming off. There we go, and there's that one. Alright, last one. This one actually hopefully shouldn't be too bad. Pick it up. Cool, I got a little grabber here. Oh wow, this one was easy. What are you stuck on? Hang on.
Psych.
Oh, I see. Okay, here, let me grab my camera real quick so I can show y'all something real quick. This last one down here, it's got a little clip on the end. See that? So be sure to look out for that as well. Alright, so with that water hose wrapping around it, I may try to re-wrap it around just so that it has something to grab onto, which I assume is what they had planned with that. So I'm going to try to do that, and then I'll set the hook. Just like so. That should be good. And then lift up just like that. And then I'm going to attach that clip. Maybe, maybe not. That clip doesn't seem like it likes it doesn't seem like it likes the diameter of the rod. So there we go. Alright, that's on there. Hopefully that don't go nowhere. And that's much sturdier than what it was. So
yeah, you can tell.
So that's done. We're going to lower this.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
Bring it over like that, and we'll get everything situated now. One quick note before we throw everything back on, don't forget to take your tape, right? Because it's not like you can just lift the lid and take it off, right? You have to lift the whole thing, so make sure you get your tape and remove it. Alright, so now that's all situated. Let's go ahead and take off these 3 screws, take off this panel so we can get to where we insert our big screws and then attach our grounds. Now that those are off, take off the panel, like so. Set that up there. I'm going to check and make sure everything is a-okay in here, which I don't see no busted wires or nothing, so I'd say we are golden. There's that one, there's those two. Okay, looks like we're golden. I'm going to grab my 2 big screws. Woohoo! Drop one. Alright, 1 screw, 2 screw. Where's my screwdriver? Here we go. Make sure your holes are lined up, of course, which it should be lined up as long as the top of your washer is set down in the correct space. Take this guy, pop him back in place. Actually, hold on, before I forget, we need to do the grounds. Don't forget, small little screws with a lock washer. There you go, make sure y'all can see. Right wire, green and yellow is the left one. There's another yellow-green one, that one's by itself. Now that those are on, we can put this back panel on. Good, good, and good. Grab the 3 screws. Remember, these are the small ones. Let's see, where's my screwdriver at? Here we go. One on the top right. Make sure nothing's moving back there, that it's all good. Those look okay. Let's move on to the front and attach the last 2 screws. Alright, and last but not least, by far, take your last 2 big screws, drop them in their place. Grab a screwdriver, tighten them down. Once those are nice and tight, grab your little rubber grommets. Slide them in place, and you're basically done here. Just make sure you put it in right. There you go. And that's basically done. You can move it around as much as you want. Try to bounce it if you can. Mine's pretty good now. So now that that's all done, let's do a quick test run after we plug our plug back in and see how it looks compared to how it was before. Okay, everything looks good. Nice little test. Everything looks good there. So put it on spin. You can do either 2 or 3. I usually do 3 because that's a little heavier spin. And then we'll just hold it to start. And it'll go through, right there, it's a drain cycle. It'll do that 2 or 3 times before it spins. It'll spin 2 or 3 times before it reaches its max spin. So now it's just a waiting game. Okay, so now you should hear some actuators. This is the second rinse, or the second drain. Yep, one actuator. Setting the drum in place. Let's see how much it moves here. It's testing the load. Remember, keep an eye on this side. This is your main indicator right there. It's not moving as much. Definitely a little better. Now there could be other things wrong as well. There's things like dampeners and stuff like that that could also cause the drum to move around a lot or not have as much absorption. But you can definitely tell the difference between the beginning and what it is now. It's definitely more stable and it doesn't wobble around as much. So I like that. So we're going to let this keep running, and you're basically done. Good job. All right, thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope that it helped you out today and that you learned something new. I want to remind you all to go ahead and check out my website. That way, if you have more procedures that you need to do, then you can hit up that website. It's caswellskappa.wixsite.com/caswellskappa, and there will be more procedures there that y'all can follow and do. So other than that, that's all I have for y'all today, and I'll see y'all next time. Till then.